Henry's, you must know Henry's cat.
You must have seen the movie, you must have read the book. He's a mellow yellow feline, so take a second look. He knows everything about nothing, and not too much about that. So if you know someone who knows what he knows, then you must know Henry's cat.
Henry's cat had been reading fairy stories to his teddy bear. As it was bedtime, he started to nod off to sleep, and soon the stories and his dreams got all mixed up. Henry's cat, the wandering minstrel, woke up. "Oh, I do feel hungry." Well, in those days, wandering minstrels had to sing for their supper at every other meal. But there was no one around he could sing to. He would just have to walk to the next village. He hadn't gone far when he saw a little girl sitting on a tuffet eating some curds and whey. "Oh, hello, I'm Henry's cat. Would you like me to sing you a song?" Well, before the little girl could answer, a huge spider sat down beside her and frightened the little girl away. Henry's cat didn't like to see food wasted, so he ate up the curds and whey. He felt much better after that and started to sing. Away I go as a strolling minstrel. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Goldilocks. If you see 3 bears, tell them I went the other way. Henry's cat felt a little dazed. "Which way did she go?" said the daddy bear. Henry's cat hoped there were no more little girls around. He set off in the opposite direction of the bears. And very soon he saw a house. "Oh, perhaps I can sing for my lunch there." He looked inside. There was no one to be seen. But there on the table were 3 bowls, 2 of them full of porridge. He tasted them, and they were just right, so he ate them all up. Not finding anyone to sing to, Henry's cat went on his way. Well, hardly had he left the house when he met another little girl. "Oh, hello, I'm Henry's cat." "Oh, I'm Red Riding Hood, and I've got to take these goodies to my granny, but I'd rather be playing football." "Oh, if your granny lives down this way, I can pop them in while I'm passing." Of course he hoped Granny might ask him to stay for tea for being so helpful. Red Riding Hood gave him the basket. But he hadn't gone far when a big bad wolf popped out and said, "Oh, good morning, good sir, and where might you be going this fine day?" "Oh, hello. I'm going to see Red Riding Hood's granny to take her these goodies." "Oh, what a kind person you must be. And where does Granny live?" "Oh, she lives in a cottage in the woods, all alone, just along the path." "Oh, most interesting. Give her my regards when you see her." The cunning wolf then went off in the direction Henry's cat had pointed, so that he could eat the granny and then Henry's cat when he arrived. Fortunately for Henry's cat, the wolf took a wrong turning and found the house of the 3 bears. "Oh, Granny must be out. I'll dress up like her and eat the cat when he arrives." In the bedroom there were 3 beds. The baby bed was too small, and the middle-sized bed was too soft. But the big bed was just right. The wolf put on the mummy bear's nightdress, thinking it belonged to Granny. Well, it wasn't long before the three bears returned from chasing Goldilocks. They were tired, hungry, and very angry. When they discovered all the porridge had been eaten up, the daddy bear said,
"Yeah, she's been here again. I bet she's asleep in my bed."
A big bad wolf pretended to be asleep, but when he opened his eyes and saw the daddy bear, he said, "Oh, what a big piece of wood you have."
"All the better to hit you with,"
said the daddy bear. The terrified wolf ran off as fast as he could. Meanwhile, Henry's cat had discovered something quite amazing. It was another house, but not an ordinary house. This house was made of gingerbread. "Oh, I wonder if Granny lives here," thought Henry's cat. Henry's cat had never seen a house made of food before. He couldn't resist tasting a bit of the doorpost. And then just a chunk of the windowsill. In fact, he became so involved in tasting bits of everything, he didn't see an old lady behind him.
Oh, hello, dearie. Welcome to my house. It tastes much better inside. Care to come in for a cup of tea?
Well, Henry's cat couldn't believe his luck. There were marzipan curtains, candy stick chairs, chocolate tables. It was amazing. He had just started on a cushion full of jelly beans when he spotted a chocolate doorknob. But when he took the doorknob off to eat it, the door came open and he saw a little boy and girl in a cage. Henry's cat realized he was about to be trapped by his own greediness. The old lady was really a wicked witch and had crept up behind him. But the little boy shouted, "Look out!" Henry's cat threw a cushion at the old witch and then jumped through a window to look for help. Luckily, it was close at hand. The big bad wolf, mistaking the wicked old witch for Red Riding Hood's granny, ate her all up in one gulp. Too late. He realised he'd eaten the witch and immediately got double indigestion with gurgles and burps. Henry's cat set free the little boy and girl, who were called Hansel and Gretel. They went off happily. In the meantime, Henry's cat filled his basket with gingerbread to take to Granny. Henry's cat soon came to another house. This must be Granny's house, he thought. But yet another little girl answered the door. Her name was Snow White, and she invited him in for a cup of tea. Snow White said she was hiding from her wicked stepmother, who was really a witch.
Oh, there's so many witches, one doesn't know which witch is which,
said Henry's cat. Well, hardly had he spoken when another old lady came to the door, this time with a basket of apples.
Oh, hello, dearie. Do you want to buy me lovely red apples? Just try this lovely red one.
Henry's cat just fancied an apple. Well, no sooner had he taken a bite, then he came over all funny. The old lady ran away, and Snow White realised it was a wicked stepmother in disguise.
"Oh dear! Henry's cat saved me by his brave deed. He is my hero, but he is dead. Oh, 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 what shall I do?"
Snow White sadly put Henry's cat in a glass coffin, which was really a goldfish tank. Then she put the goldfish in a bucket and took them to the pond. And what do you think happened? A frog jumped right out beside her. The frog then spoke to her, saying,
Snow White, I know I'm just an ugly frog, but I have fallen in love with you.
Well, this was a surprise, but it did cheer Snow White up a bit after such a bad day.
"Oh, thank you, Frog, but I'm in love with Henry's cat, who has just been poisoned by my wicked stepmother."
Snow White took the frog home so that he could see Henry's cat for himself.
Snow White, I can't see him. Open the tank so I can jump up.
The frog landed on Henry's cat's stomach, and the poison apple shot out.
Ow, where am I?
Said Henry's cat. Well, Snow White was so happy she kissed the frog, who turned into a handsome prince. Of course, Snow White immediately fell in love with him, and they were married and lived happily ever after. Well, most of the time. Meanwhile, back at Snow White's cottage, 7 dwarfs had turned up. The first dwarf said,
Here. Hello, Snow White. You look a bit off colour. Are you feeling all right? Oh, I'm not Snow White. She's just gone off to marry a prince, said Henry's cat. Oh, has she? Well, what about our dinner then?
Well, if there's one thing Henry's cat knows about, it's food. As quick as a flash, he said,
Oh, I'll fix you a dinner. We got gingerbread soup, followed by curried gingerbread in custard with jelly and onions, followed by fried chocolate gingerbread with gingerbread sauce for sweet. It was just the sort of thing that dwarfs like. Meanwhile, the big bad wolf turned up again, looking for Granny. He hurriedly disguised himself. I'm a poor little sheep with nowhere to sleep. Open the door and let me in. How? Not by the ears of our chinny chin chins, said the 7 dwarfs. Here, this is a sheep that was lost by Bo Peep. There's a reward out for him. Put him in the cellar. Then, after a big gingerbread meal, they all went to bed. Snow White's stepmother, disguised as a witch, crept into the house. She didn't know Snow White had gone away. She spied the door to the cellar. It was a perfect place to hide. But the wolf had got free. When he saw the witch, he thought she must be Red Riding Hood's granny, and he would not be cheated again. With one gulp, he ate her all up. But his luck was out. With the whole witch in his stomach, he got stuck in the cellar door. The next morning, Henry's cat and the dwarfs found him still stuck there. He looked so sheepish, the dwarfs felt sorry for him, and they made him an official witch hunter with a badge and everything just to cheer him up. Henry's cat, the wandering minstrel, continued on his way, this time followed by the wolf, and before long they saw a castle. Oh, wait here. I'll just see if they want any minstrels to sing or witches eaten, said Henry's cat. Inside the castle, he asked the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker the way to the king, and finally ended up at a door at the top of the topmost turret. Inside, an old woman sat spinning. Oh, what are you doing? And what's this funny thing? Inquired Henry's cat, touching the needle of a spinning wheel. Well, he immediately fell asleep, because the old lady was yet another wicked witch who was expecting the Sleeping Beauty. Now Henry's cat had spoilt it all. In disgust, she jumped out of the window and landed right in the jaws of the big bad wolf, who thought she was a gift from Henry's cat. But Henry's cat had fallen asleep for 100 years. Henry's cat woke up. Oh dear, I seem to have overslept by 100 years. No wonder I feel hungry. He made the biggest breakfast he had ever had, and he thought to himself, oh well, one thing about fairy stories, they all have a happy ending. Hello, dearie. Do you want to buy me lovely red apples? Or do they?
Henry's You must know Henry's cat. You must have seen the movie. You must have read the book. He's a mellow yellow feline, so take a second look. He knows everything about nothing, and not too much about that. So if you know someone who knows what he knows, then you must know Henry's cat. Then you must know Henry's cat.